Charlie's Angels ran for 5 seasons back in 1976 to 1981, and it has been a cultural icon ever since. I mean, how many times do 3 people have to take a photo together and with minimal prompting just go like this? It's been rebooted a couple of times. There was a movie in 2000 with the sequel in 2003. There was a series reboot in 2011, and there was the recent 2019 movie. But there is one version of Charlie's Angels that never quite made it. It was a gender-swapped spin-off called Toni's Boys. The concept actually got a backdoor pilot in Charlie's Angels Season 4, Episode 23. A backdoor pilot is not a term that you need to look up on Urban Dictionary. It's when a concept for a new spin-off show is essentially tested and pitched in an episode for an already existing show. For example, Supernatural had an episode called Bloodlines that was intended to be a backdoor pilot for some new weird series about like a monster mafia, but it ended up being like one of their worst performing episodes, so the spin-off was never picked up. But sometimes backdoor pilots are successful. Like the show Mork and Mindy started as a backdoor pilot in an episode called My Favorite Orkin on Happy Days. And CW's The Flash also started as a backdoor pilot on their show Arrow. So it's a tactic that's used a surprising amount. So while Toni's Boys didn't get picked up, we do have that backdoor pilot episode to show us the characters and what the series would have been like. Let's look at the plot. Some bad guys are after the Angels, and following an incident where a birthday present is swapped for an identically packaged bomb and blows up Kelly's car, Charlie decides that his girls need backup. By the way, I love the idea that the bad guy literally had to go to the exact same store, purchase identical wrapping paper and ribbon, and carefully wrap this present.
Excellent work, Rizzo. Packages are identical.
Yeah, well, they should be. I bought the wrapping paper from the same store.
He's a very hands-on, detail-oriented kind of villain. Charlie sends his angels to a mansion where they meet Toni. You might be asking, who's Toni?
Like I said before, who is Toni?
I'm Toni. And these are my boys, Bob Sorensen, Matt Parrish, Cotton Harper.
Bob is an Olympic champion, Matt is a disguise and weapons expert, and Cotton is a cowboy. The 3 male archetypes. I do feel like one of those men is probably significantly more useful than the other 2. The girls are not thrilled that they need to be protected by these random dudes.
Wait a minute, fellas. Hold it.
Angels, I know how you feel, but like it or not, you've become clients here.
So they want to speak privately, so they go off to the bathroom together, where the guys can't follow them. And in case you were ever wondering, that is exactly why girls go to the bathroom together, to scheme.
Well, I don't know about you two, but I feel like we're on a triple blind date with Captain America, James Bond, and the Lone Ranger.
I love the fact that this joke still works today. So the boys and the angels reluctantly team up to try and figure out who's trying to kill the girls. Although the angels do try to ditch each one of the boys, but it doesn't work. And Matt seems weirdly happy to be locked in this closet.
Now let's look for that little surprise, like a scarf or maybe a little accept.
Truly, I'm sorry.
Why does she even have a lock on the outside of her closet? Because normally you would have a lock on a closet to prevent someone from the outside from getting in and rifling through all your valuables. But the only reason you would need to have a lock on the outside of your closet like that would be to prevent someone from inside your closet from getting out. Does she lock people in her closet a lot? They do eventually figure out that a criminal that the girls helped put away has now been released from prison and is the one coming after them for revenge.
Yeah, he got out of the slammer 2 weeks ago.
For a 20-year sentence?
Of which he only served 6 months.
I think we better locate Mr. Durano before he figures out his next clever move.
During their investigation, this happens. And I'm about to tell you something about that scene that you are not going to expect. It is actually a striptease.
He's a male stripper.
And it goes on for a while. So Tiffany ends up getting nabbed by the bad guys from a modeling agency right under Matt's nose.
My client doesn't like to wait.
These guys are not terribly good at their jobs. However, I love Toni. Okay, so at one point they have to sneak into this fancy wine gala, and even though Toni is literally invited by name to this gala because she is a rich lady who likes wine, she sweet talks her way in under a fake name.
But ma'am, your name isn't...
Oh, no, it belongs to my friend Antonio Blake, but she gave it to me. She thought I might have some fun here.
And then, to create a distraction, she does this.
Oh!
Which causes the entire gala to just devolve into like a massive fist fight.
Who started it? I did. Why? That seemed like a good idea at the time.
Except that now, after the gala, they have lost all 3 of the angels.
Let's go.
Doing great, boys. So the guys go to rescue the angels, and we see all of their skills put into action. Look at this tall fence. It is so very tall. How are we possibly going to get over this very tall fence? If only we had an Olympic level high jumper on our team. A car pulls up to the front gate, and an unfamiliar man with a posh accent gets out.
Listen to me, little man. Get your crayons out and copy this label down and tell Mr. Durano I'm here. A buy like this only happens once in a lifetime.
Who could this brand new character be? Oh, wait, it's Matt with a beard. I didn't recognize him with that in-depth disguise. Is it just me, or does Matt give off, like, sexy serial killer vibes? Meanwhile, the villain is going full cask of Amontillado on the angels.
All we need now is the cask of Amontillado. I never would have guessed you were an Edgar Allan Poe fan.
And I just want people to know that I'm smart, and I made the cask of Amontillado reference before they actually said it in the show. The villain makes like a really bad wine pun.
Seal them up and don't bother to affix the date. This is going to be a very bad year for all 3 of you. Arrivederci.
He went all in on that pun. Okay, so now we have seen 2 of the boys in action. But where is the cowboy? I'm just going to have to assume that he is not here, and we definitely won't see him at a critical moment later. A fight ensues in the courtyard, and we see the Olympian do like a really high kick to kick this one guy in the face, but while they're distracted, the bad guy is escaping in a small plane.
What was your best time in the 440? 46.2. Then you better go after him.
Okay, so he's an Olympic champion, but like, normally people in the Olympics are pretty much just good at one thing. Like, they have one specialty that they've been training for their entire lives. Like, you can swim real fast or do a backflip. You can throw a javelin or you can jump real high. It's not all of the things, you know? Even still, as fast as he is, he can't catch that airplane on foot. But, oh wait, here's the cowboy. He's gonna lasso that airplane. And then the airplane explodes. And we get treated to this very special walk-away conversation.
Anyway, I was roping this steer. Got my leg caught in the slack. Snatched me out right over his head. There I was, eyeball to eyeball.
Well, what happened?
I wrestled the sucker down and gave him a big kiss.
And I feel like it could be some sort of double entendre, but I don't know. I don't know. The girls are saved. And as they all celebrate their victory together, we learn that the angels just missed seeing Charlie, since he and Toni are friends and were apparently hanging out that day.
You gotta tell us what he looks like.
Oh, well, he's a very tall, short man. He weighs between 125, 250 pounds. He has jet black blonde hair.
The end. And we never saw Bob, Matt, and Cotton again. I noticed that Charlie's Angels tends to use the word angels in the episode titles a lot. So you have things like Attack Angel, Angels in Hiding, He Married an Angel, Avenging Angel, Fallen Angel, etc. And I think that it is a real shame that we didn't get a slew of weird titles using the word boys. Like, Boys on the Street, Boys in Springtime, Boy Hunt, Boys on Skates. And yes, those were actual Charlie's Angels episode titles where I just swapped the word angels for boys. I think that the time is right to bring back Toni's Boys. I actually don't understand why this idea hasn't been rebooted as like a Will Ferrell comedy or something. The term that people used for Charlie's Angels was jiggle TV, because it was just hot women running around and solving crimes. But now the year is 2021, and studios have started to realize that women hold a lot of buying power. And there have been a number of shows or movies that the creators thought would cater to primarily a male audience based on like the action and adventure nature of the story, but that developed a primarily female audience due to the interest in the male leads. I'm looking at you, Supernatural. So let's have a movie that does just like a total reversal of stereotypes and has these three hot yet capable male detectives who are recruited by this eccentric rich old lady who in my head is played by Gillian Anderson. And they have to use their physical prowess and their mental acumen to solve crimes in a female-dominated world. Look at all these ideas I am just giving out to Hollywood for free. What do you think? Would a Toni's Boys show or movie work today? And do you think it would work better now than it might have worked back in the 70s. You can disagree with me. That's fine. I won't block you. Hey Google, who played Scully on X-Files?
Dana Scully was played by Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny.
I mean, no. Dana Scully was not also played by David Duchovny.